What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Cozy here, coming to you with another epic One Piece battle between Axolawtl on the left with Gecko Moria and our good friend Dr.VegasPunk playing the Yamato on our right here. And so something important to note in this particular matchup is Yamato hits hard. Yamato can go burr really fast. So that is something to be mindful of, especially in this type of matchup. A huge shout out to the People's Card Shop for hosting yet another awesome locals tournament. If you want more information on them and to check out their store, a link to their website will be in the description below, as long as some of their socials. They are super great for tournament play. They usually host a lot of Pokemon events. They host Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lorcana, and of course the One Piece. So we're just getting ourselves shuffled up here, and something that we do want to note on both ends here for like the path to victory and things like that is when it comes to Gecko Moria, it just needs to tempo itself to a point where it has a very strong and commanding board presence, and putting out those blockers like the Sabo and the Borsalino and Rebecca if it runs it, right? Because blockers are the bane to Yamato's existence in this particular case. But on the other end of it, Yamato has to hold itself accountable for board size and board management of playing the trigger cards like Kikinojo, Hiyori, Momonosuke. Those particular types of triggers and life manipulation is what's going to help Yamato carry itself through the end game. In my opinion, I feel Gecko Moria has a stronger late game than Yamato does. But that is entirely, my opinion. I think Gecko Moria has a very strong late game, especially when it starts playing the Gecko Moria character. So that is something we're going to be taking a look at as we go through this particular game. Yamato's main strengths, of course, is that it does have double attack. He's just flipping the deck around, so that way it works for him. Getting our opening hands pulled up here. VegasPunk keeping, and it looks like he has 2 or 3 copies of the Momonosuke blocker and a Dracula Mihawk in hand with an Ohm, I believe it is what it is. So he's going to have a very strong Dawn 3 turn, I believe is what Dracula Mihawk is. And there is the fist bump. Game is live and started up. Gecko Moria going first. We're going to do a classic yellow play of Dawn with no Sindri. Interesting. There's no Sindri. Oh, there's the Sindri. Beautiful play. So let's see what we get off the top 5 of the Sindri here. It should be something very spicy. We're kind of hoping to see like a Perona, an Absalom, one of those two in that particular instance. So let's see what he pulls out of trash. Taking a look at the top 5 here. I do see the corner of an Absalom. And he's going to pass the turn back over. We didn't get to see what he put in the trash. But we're going to play ourselves a Shura Searcher. Great top deck off of there for VegasPunk. But let's see what he's going to start looking for. He's going to grab the Ohm off the top. And it looks like we aren't going to be able to do anything else in this particular instance because we cannot attack. So we are going to pass the turn back to the Gecko Moria player. Now, in this ideal situation, we swing 6 with Gecko Moria, use that leader skill to trash 1 card and the top 2 from our deck, and pull probably like a Perona or even an Absalom in this case to get rid of the Shura. Both options are very viable in this situation. I think it just depends on what is in that trash. But so far, this community has been fantastic for playing One Piece, and I just got to say, this game is amazing. This game is extremely fun to play, and I can't get enough of it. But if you guys are enjoying this type of video where we're doing live commentary, or if you're just a big fan of the One Piece card game itself, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, as we are going to continue our 2 uploads a week of One Piece content. And so now we do have that initial swing. We're swinging 7 with Gecko Moria. it looks like. So maybe not even, yep, 7 to leader. VegasPunk is going to take it. We do have 1 Dawn open. Out of curiosity, though, I'm not sure why we wouldn't play the Absalom in this case, because we are going to have 2 cards in trash by the end of it because we had to put stuff back because of the Absalom. And then we get rid of that Shura. That way there's not an extra attacker, which, I mean, granted, it is a 2,000 power character, so we do have to do quite a bit of Dawn investment to get there, but still an attacker nonetheless, especially if VegasPunk doesn't have anything to play on a specific Dawn curve. So it doesn't look like there was a particular trigger. VegasPunk's got a pretty healthy hand. I definitely think Perona would have been the play here to have him start discarding cards. And he's just going to pass the turn with 1 Dawn up. VegasPunk going to 4. But what is the plan here? We could Mihawk into Ohm, into Holly. Okay, so we do play the Mihawk because he does have 2 characters. He's going to play 1 for free. It does have to come in rested though, so that may be something that we have to fix. Up there we go. And so now we're going to use the Ohm effect. Look at the top 5, looking for that Doge. Do we have the Doge? We did find the Doge, so we did find the most optimal line of play for the Mihawk Ohm combo. And look at that board presence from the Yamato turn 2. And so now, yep, we can go 6k to the leader with the double attack. Now, Gecko Moria doesn't mind going to 3, but he's just going to counter out with a 2k. And just keep adding cards to that trash. Now let's see what the Gecko players got in mind here. So we are on the 5 Dawn. So if we haven't prepped for Gecko, we should probably be prepping for that Gecko character turn on our 9 Dawn curve. So that way we have a cost reducer and we could play Gecko for things. But it could just come down to where are we going to be pushing to either clear the board out or find some way to have a board presence of our own. If you guys were in this particular situation, what would you do? So it looks like we had an Ice Age on the Holly. I believe that was an Ice Age on the Holly. We're going to attach 2 Dawn to the Gecko. Pay 2 Dawn. Okay, so he is using the leader skill, it looks like here. And he's going to grab an Absalom from trash. Not sure what he puts back in this particular case, because again, we don't see the trash. And he's going to KO the Holly. And then swinging into the Ohm. Just needs a 1k to counter out of this. He is not at 6k power just yet because we still have that 3rd life just sitting there. We're going to have to let it go, it looks like. Interesting. So that hand must be very valuable to VegasPunk in this particular instance. But on the 6 Dawn curve, what can we necessarily do in this case? I do like that idea where we flip the card upside down so that way we know it does not have rush and cannot attack that turn that it is played. If you guys do something similar to that, let me know down in the comments, because I might start doing something like that, because I do get confused every once in a while on what I just played, what I haven't played. So that may be something that I integrate into my gameplay. And I think it's just an overall great thing to see from like a player's perspective of like, okay, now I know like what characters can attack and what characters can swing. But of course, like a learning curve of the game is knowing how many attacks your opponent does have and how high they could get it and what their kind of game plan and strategy is for how they're going to play it out. VegasPunk still sitting on 6 Dawn with 2 Momonosuke blockers. I think in this particular case, we slam down. We got to get him down to some life. So I think doing a huge investment here in Dawn, yep, like a 7k would be fine. So yeah, 7K to leader. That means he's going to have to give up at least 2 cards, a 2K and a 1K to get out of this. But again, Gecko Moria doesn't mind going down to 3 necessarily and just being comfortable at that 3 life range. And then he can start countering out after that. He's going to take the first one, no trigger. Going to take that second one. Doesn't look like there's a trigger on that one either. Something to also take a look at is Dr.VegasPunk's mat. Love Cowboy Bebop. If you guys are a fan of Cowboy Bebop too, let me down in the comments. Or what your favorite anime is. That might be something to have a little comment war about. You know, which anime is the best. For me personally, as of right now, I'm on the hype train for My Hero Academia. So that is going to be ending soon. So now I have to find a new kind of current anime watch to kind of start binging as we close out the My Hero Academia saga. So we're going to pay for another Ohm play. Let's see if we find the dog. Do we find the Doge? No Doge. So huge whiff on that one. But with that 4 Dawn investment, he's just going to play the dog from hand. We have the same exact board, except this time that Ohm is a little bit more protected and the Holly comes back into play. We're going to use Leader's skill because he is at 3 life, attach that Dawn, and then swing, it looks like 6K into Leader, counter out with a Suru, 2K counter, and most likely going to be passed in the turn back. Which I believe this puts us on the 7 Dawn curve for Gecko Moria. So we need to figure out what can we do here. If we do not have Gecko Moria in our hand, we need to find a way to put it in our hand. If it's in our trash as an unknown mystery, then we need to get Hogback into trash and play Hogback off of skill. So that way we can get Gecko Moria back into the hand. But it also depends on what else is in the trash. If there's any cost reducers like the Helmet Bow, if there's anything that's going to take care of the board like Rob Lucci, Absalom, you know, things of that nature, then we need to prep for the Gecko swing on the 9 Dawn curve. But we are just going to go Absalom into the Mihawk. We are going to Ice Age down that the Ohm, putting it to a 0 cost. Technically a -1, but 0 cost nonetheless. And then what else are we going to do here? We have what looks like 5 Dawns still to play with. But even at that, is there really another push that we can aim for here? We're going to play the Lucci. So we are going to be KOing the Shura and the Ohm, it looks like, leaving just the Doge. Yep. And then we'll put 3 cards back from our trash to the bottom of the deck, thanks to Mr. Pigeon himself. On an unrelated note, ooh, look at that. He's going to swing 7 into life, get the Shura trigger to do another search. So it's almost like the Shura didn't even go away. But what's he going to grab off of here? I think maybe a counter or an Amaru would be fine. Let's see what he's going to grab here before we hop back on my soapbox of randomness. Definitely think Amaru would be a good bet here. Just for the push. If we get to that point. Oh, and he does grab the Amaru. Okay, cool. All right, back to my unrelated soapbox note that I don't remember my soapbox note of randomness. Oh, well, it'll come back to us. The important thing is, and the cool thing about this channel is we're just going to be random, having different types of commentary and different types of ideas. Oh, now I remember. Has everybody seen Gear 5 Luffy versus Awakened Rob Lucci boy, that fight, oh, chef's kiss. It was such a beautiful fight. It's great to see Lucci being as strong as he is and showing that awakened devil fruit of the cat fruit model leopard. I think that's what it is, the model leopard, if I remember right. I don't know. It's hard to remember all of these different devil fruits, but Rob Lucci, cool character. I definitely like him. Moving to VegasPunk's turn here. There we go. We were short some Dawn. I think we're on the 8 Dawn curve right now. Now, I play Fortress Yamato. This is when I'm slamming Kid and like a blocker. So maybe we put something together on the aggressive end of it, maybe a Hody. I was gonna be like, what are we paying 8 for? What is happening? Maybe not even the Hody in this play. Maybe if we go 7 with Holly, or even 7 with Yamato, but we don't have a Landawano character in to use the Momonosuke effect. So not entirely sure what our plan would be here, because we know he has 2 Momo blockers in hand. The gears are grinding for sure with VegasPunk here, but I mean, if it was me, I would go 6, 7, and then play some Dawn to kind of work it from there. Or we spend 2 for like a Hiyori maybe and start manipulating life. Pay 5. We are going to play that Momonosuke blocker, not using that kind of Landawano life manipulation strategy, which is cool. But now we could go 8K to leader, 7K with dog, which I think is very strong. So he's going to start 7K with the Doge. And look at that art for the Doge. That Doge is rated E for everyone. 7 into Absalom. So trying to fight for board control here, it looks like. So he does let it go. Ooh, congestion is killing me. 8K to leader, double attack. Axolawtl's going to take both hits here. Doesn't look like a trigger off of either one. And definitely going to pass the turn back here. It does look like. But now that Gecko Moria is kind of in a tougher situation and a tougher matchup, because Yamato has a blocker. Yamato also has 2 life, taking the life lead, taking the board lead, having an extra assurance and policy with the Momonosuke. So ultimately, what is the plan here? What's the strategy that we're looking to do? We're on 9 Dawn. We have to find a way to, if it was me, I would go Ice Age into the Momo, put it to 0. Gecko Moria to get like Helmeppo Lucci, if we have it in trash, to minus the dog, play Lucci, KO Momo and the dog, and then put 3 cards back in the bottom of trash. That would be me. That would be the strategy that I kind of aimed to go for. On the flip side of it, ooh, he had another Ice Age. So he is going to hit the Momo. Okay. See, thinking like a Gecko Moria player. Doing a lot of basic math here. Gecko Moria. Okay. What do we grab him from? The Z-Trash. Axolotl the raccoon. So what is the plan here? What do we grab him from trash, Mr. Lottle? While we're waiting for that, has everybody seen what an axolotl looks like? Like an actual axolotl? Dude, those are sick. I think they're cool looking. I wouldn't be able to take care of one personally, but I don't entirely know what the game plan is here with the Gecko Moria play. Like I said, if it was me, I'd go Hemapolucci. Grabbing an Absalom from trash, so maybe we don't have Lucci. Gonna move the deck over a little bit. And elects just to not grab anything else, just play the Absalom for free to KO the Momonosuke blocker. Swinging 5k into the leader or the dog. We're going to counter out 1k, swing 6 into the dog. So, I mean, we still did the objective that we wanted to aim for, which was to basically clear out the board and get a Gecko on board for ourselves. Maybe it was just because of the trash situation. Not entirely sure. But we do now have a 10-Don Yamato. So he could go, if he has it, he can go Kikunojo into, oh, interesting. We're going to go Hiyori in this case. I'll just say Kiku into Momo to get an extra life. But he's going to take that top, or that bottom life, sorry. And what are you going to put back, sir? Still have a very strong and healthy hand size here. He's going to put a Secret Mouse Cthulhu in there for later, probably like a Kikunojo or a Nekomamushi. I know he had the Nekomamushi in hand. We saw it from the camera angle here. So maybe it is that. We're going to go 5-Don again to play the Momonosuke, putting the Hiyori back. Just double checking the text here. Going to be face up. And he's going to put it to the bottom of his life. So he still has that trigger stacked on the top. And he got an extra heal in. Still has, I believe, 3 Dawn. Yeah, because 5 and 2 is 7. So he has 3 Dawn still to play with. Just verifying the leader text. I mean, here I would say we go 7. And then 5. I'd go 7-5 if I was in this particular instance. But this is also why I don't play Yamato, because it's just Unga Bunga for me. If you guys enjoy Yamato, though, let me know down in the comments as well. I want to know what your guys' favorite leaders are to play, especially in like the upcoming EBO1, in OPO7. What are we kind of excited for? Me personally, I'm excited for Starter Deck 13 Ace. I think that is going to be an epic leader for me to play as we get into like EBO1, Starter Deck 13 stuff, and everything like that. Doing a lot of critical thinking here on the Yamato side of what we're going to do with this 3 Dawn. Swinging 8k. Is it into the Lucci or is it into life? I would say it's into the Lucci, because we want to get rid of the Lucci in this particular case because it is a 6k body. Still going to have to give up 3 cards on the Axolotl end just to save Mr. Lucci. I don't think it's particularly worth it in this case, especially because now we don't have that double attack swing coming in, and he has no Dawn active. And so it looks like he kept the Nekomamushi in hand, so it may be a Kikunojo trigger. He's going to let the Lucci go. And we are going to most likely pass here, send it back to the Gecko Moria on the 10 Dawn turn. But still some thinking here. We do have that blocker still up on presence here. We now have 2 more life compared to the Gecko Moria. I think that Gecko Moria just needs to start swinging. He's going to get a guaranteed hit off the 9k with character. We don't run any rushers, which is a huge problem. So maybe swing with 7, 7, 9 with that trifecta over down yonder with Gecko, Gecko, Absalom. And then that still leaves us enough Dawn to play like a Sabo or a Rebecca or a Borsalino. So that way we can kind of block her up and pretty much be a big thorn in the side of this Yamato. But the question still remains, what do? We have a ton of life to still go through with this Yamato, virtually taking no damage in this entire game. You know, if we were to look at a snapshot of like start of game to now, not a lot has really changed on the Yamato's life end, but you and I both know on this epic journey that we call One Piece, that is not the case, and it was a Kikinojo stack. A little confused on what the top and what the bottom was from the Axolotl end. That dice is going to just be a clarification, it looks like, of like what is on the top or what is on the bottom. So great stack of the Kikinojo trigger. We now have an extra body on board, and if he does so choose to get rid of it, get an extra life off of it? I don't know if it'd be entirely worth it on the Axolotl end just to get rid of that Kikinojo now, especially with us being as low as we are. It may also be worth it because it is a 6K body that just is going to be swinging and costing us 1 or 2 cards a turn. And as we get to the late game here, cards are everything. It's a valuable resource that not a lot of people have. I am still on board for the 7/7. That leaves us 6 Dawn. You could even go 7/8 and play a Sabo blocker. Or if you have Borsalino in hand, you can go 8/8 Borsalino. And still get probably 2 life out of it. You know he is going to get a 2K counter in hand if you swing both times. But the question is, what's in your hand, Mr. Axolotl? What thought processes are you coming about with this particular turn? You have all 10 Dawn active. You could even go 6, 6, 5 and play Sabo, or 6, 6, 6 with Sindri or Solino. Either way, I think a blocker needs to come out this particular turn from the Gecko Moria. But the question is, what blocker is it? Is it Sabo or is it the Borsalino? Pretty strong. Maybe the 8/8 in a Borsalino? Not sure. He's just going to swing 8 with the Absalom to life. And it is going to be a Satori block, or a Satori 5K. Sorry. Discarding a card from hand. It looks like it was the Nekomamushi, because we do have a Hiyori, we have an Amaru, and another Momonosuke blocker. I think maybe trashing the Momonosuke blocker for Satori would have been fine, because I mean we just trashed a 1K counter. He's going to play Rebecca. Okay. So pretty much same kind of idea with the Rebecca and the Borsalino. But that still gives us 1, 2, 2 extra Dawn? 3 extra Dawn. He's going to attach 1 to the Gecko Moria, swinging 6K into life. Yep. 6K into life because we don't have any other characters to swing into. Going to use the Gecko skill here. Trashing some unknown cards at the end. He's going to give up a 2K for the counter. And he's just going to clean up the board a little bit. I'm a big fan of keeping a clean board as well. When it comes to like that stuff, I definitely want to keep a cleaner board just for my folks on the other end of the table, so that way they can kind of see everything. Trying to figure out some math related questions here, it looks like, on the Yamato end. He's just going to swing 5 into leader, forcing some cards out of hand. Does look like he counters out of it. Yes, he does. He counters out with an Absalom. He's going to pay 2 for the Amaru. And he's going to have to rest that Rebecca. Yep, he's going to rest the Rebecca, put it on Yamato, and swing most likely. I think the confusion was he thought it was a reject and was going to trash the life. I think that was what the confusion was. Reject's still a really good card. Glad it's getting banned, though. It is way too strong in the format. Skill. He's going to swing 8K into leader first. Nope, he's going to attach 2 more Dawn, make it a 10K swing. He's going to have to end up taking it. Yamato already has the +3, attaches the rest of the Dawn, and that is looking like it's going to be it, and it's going to be a GG's on Dr.VegasPunk here. Excellent work and strong gameplay. The Yamato coming in clutch with that Amaru and resting that Rebecca block, which is an unfortunate thing to see from a Gecko Moria's perspective. You know, the Amaru is the thing that really won that game for itself. But I think even on board, we didn't really have a whole lot of additional kind of plays to go from there. But congratulations to Dr.VegasPunk for securing a victory here. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell for more One Piece content. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.